Alright, good morning guys. Today we are going to jump into sections 2.2 and 2.3 and we're going to be solving inequalities. So in chapter 1, you guys, we just finished up solving equations and now we're going to be solving inequalities. So remember that the signs and the symbols we're going to be working with are less than, greater than, less than or equal to, and greater than or equal to. All right, so the goal of solving an inequality is to isolate the variable. All right, our goal is to isolate the variable. We will isolate the variable by using inverse operations, just like we did in chapter 1. Like we did for equations. Again, we are isolating the variable using inverse operations, both of which we've done in chapter 1. So let's go ahead and look at some examples. So our first example is x plus 6 is greater than or equal to negative 10. We are going to solve this inequality and graph it as well. So again, our goal is to isolate our variable x, and to do so we are going to use the inverse operation to undo our positive 6. So to undo our plus 6, we are going to use subtraction because that is the inverse operation of addition. So we are left with x is greater than or equal to negative 16. I'm now going to go ahead and graph that solution. So I'm going to go ahead and do negative 16. Since we have a or equal to in our symbol, that means I'm going to use a closed circle on negative 16. So I'm going to go ahead and put a closed circle on negative 16. And we want all the numbers greater than or equal to negative 16. So I'm going to shade to the right because that's where all the numbers that are greater are. Again, let's not forget our arrow at the end of our graph to signify that we are shading every single number forever and ever and ever that is greater than negative 16. All right, let's move on to our second example. We have y plus 8 is less than 5. Again, our goal is to isolate y, and to do so we are going to use inverse operation of subtraction again to undo our plus 8. So we are left with y is less than negative 3. We're going to go ahead and graph this as well. So I'm going to have negative 3. Because I just have a less than and not a less than or equal to, I am now going to use an open circle on negative 3. And since I want the numbers less than negative 3, I will go ahead and shade all the numbers to the left. At this point, go ahead and pause the video and message Mr. Horace or Ms. Zell in our Zoom chat your understanding of these two examples on a scale of 1 to 5. 1 being not quite, 5 being you understand it well. Great. Now we're going to go ahead and look at a different example, and it's going to be a real life problem. So we're going to see how math is all around our daily lives and how it's all around us. So let's look at a real life problem. All right. So you have $200 to go shopping. You buy a pair of shoes for $120 and a pair of jeans for $30. You can pause the video and make sure we have this problem written down. So the first part of our problem, what we want to do is we want to write and solve an inequality that represents how much more money you can spend before running out. So we're going to break down this problem step by step. And the first thing that we want to do when solving an equation like this or an inequality like this is we want to identify our unknown. In other words, what are we trying to figure out? What are we trying to solve for? So it's asking us to write an inequality that represents how much more money you can spend. So that's going to be our unknown. So our unknown is how much more money you can spend before running out. All right. Now we're going to come up with a blueprint for our inequality. So we're going to come up with a layout in the different parts of our inequality. So what we know, our unknown, and our symbol. So we know that we bought a pair of shoes plus a pair of jeans that we bought plus the extra spending that we want to do, and all of that has to be less than or equal to 200. This is the reason for this symbol is we can spend less than 200, but we can't spend more than 200 because we don't have any more than 200. And the reason that it's equal to is because we can spend exactly 200. All right. Let's come up with this variable for our extra spending. Let's go ahead and call it S. So S is going to be our variable for the extra money that we spend. So now let's come up with the inequality that matches the blueprint that we just came up with. So we know that our shoes were $120. So I'm going to go ahead and write $120. We know that our jeans were $30. So I'm going to go ahead and write $30. Again, this is our unknown, so we don't know how much money we can spend, so we're going to go ahead and put S. And again, it's going to be less than or equal to 200. We can go ahead and simplify this, so we'll go ahead and have 150 plus S is less than or equal to 200. Again, let's isolate our S by subtracting 150 from both sides. And that's going to leave us with S is less than $50. We're going to call this our solution. We're going to call it our solution set. So our solution set is S is less than $50. So that means the extra money that we can spend $50 more or less than $50, but we cannot spend any more than $50 or else we'll run out of money. So let's look at part B. In addition to the shoes and jeans, which of the following items can you buy before running out of money? So let's say we have a jacket for $60, a t-shirt for $15, and a hoodie for $40, and some socks for $10. Which of the following items can you buy? Remember guys, we can only spend up to $50. So knowing that, we can already cross out that we can't buy this jacket because the jacket's already more than $60. However, we can buy the hoodie. We can buy the hoodie and the socks. So we have some options. We can buy the hoodie. We can buy the hoodie plus the socks. Or we can buy the t-shirt plus the socks. The reason that these are our options is because the total of all of these options is $50 or less. Go ahead and message Miss Zell or Mr. Horace again in the chat, letting us know your understanding of this real life problem on a scale of 1 to 5. You can pause the video and send us a chat in the Zoom. Send us a message in the Zoom chat.